Welcome back to Skyhawk Park here. The ribbon cutting ceremony of this magnificent baseball softball complex.
It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Again, I'm Josh Lemons alongside me, Benita Evans. Director of Athletics, Phil Dane, stepping in to speak with us. Thanks for taking the time, sir.
Oh, it's great to be here. Glad y'all are here.
And, it was a neat omen. It's been rough all day, but we got ready to cut that ribbon, and the sun came out.
It was awesome. It was awesome when the sun popped out like that. And the kids sang. That was a real treat.
That was a treat.
That really was fun. Well, you and I spoke last week on one-on-one. This is a long time coming.
Yeah, 4 years. A little more than 4 years when you take it back to the idea stage, but the student government referendum on it was, I believe, April 2007. So just like a month or so being 4 years.
How important or how proud of you with the involvement between SGA and athletics, the cooperation that the two have for each other?
Well, I think it just, to me, it's the epitome of what UT Martin is all about. I mean, people don't really. You talk about it to other campuses that you run into. I've been around a long time, and you talk to people at other campuses about, the relationships that exist here, and they say, yeah, but it really is, in my mind, a different place when it comes to this kind of thing. And I think it just shows how much pride a student body has when they're willing to basically tax themselves more in order for their athletic teams to have the facilities they need. Some states, the laws permit athletic facilities to be built with tax funds or whatever. That's not the case in Tennessee. So, given our demographics and so forth, there's no way we would find a donor that could, pay for something like this. And so when they responded, not just favorably, but overwhelmingly, 67% positive vote is a landslide by most people's assessment, I think. And that was really inspiring. And so it's I'm just really tickled that it happened that way, and that we're going to get to share this with them.
I really loved your quote during your speech about the poet signed off, and us being from the Humanities and Fine Arts College.
That was neat. Dr. Ogg probably wouldn't. That was his college, so he probably wouldn't mind me quoting him. I didn't mention him in the ribbon cutting, but he was in the room when the results were coming in by college, and I was kind of sweating that one, I had to be honest. And he said, "Hey, Phil, you even got the poets vote." Well, that wasn't all of them, but when we got that one, I knew we were probably pretty safe.
So you guys were basically sitting in a war room, sort of like an election coverage.
we were in the Steve Vantrease's office over in Student Affairs. They were the ones responsible for tallying the votes, and I'd ashamed to say I didn't even know that's the way it worked. But they vote by college, and they came in by college, and like as I said in the remarks, HHP I felt okay about that one, and College of Business. Our majors of choice for student athletes are College of Business, Education, and HHP, Sports Management, and so forth. And I was a little worried about the engineering, fine arts, communication, those places, because I thought, but I just think it was a part of the oneness, and I think it was a credit to the not just James Orr, but the Congress people, representatives, what do we call them, our nomenclature is, getting the word out to their students saying, this is something we need to do. And it wasn't just because athletes voted for it. Obviously, we pushed them to get out and vote, but it took a lot more than that to get it done.
Well, and also a credit to the success from the football program. That's what you and I spoke about.
Yeah, I don't think it could have happened without the championship of the football team in 2006, and I probably should have recognized Coach Simpson here today. He was here, and I probably should have called him out by name because he actually went into the legislative chamber there that night and with me and actually spoke and said, hey, all of our teams need to have the success that football's just had if we're going to take UT Martin to another level. Hey, we've been the fastest growing four-year school in the state for the last several years, and who's to say that the success for athletic teams hadn't been part of that? I mean, I'm going to say that until somebody comes up with research that contradicts it today.
Yes.
So
Well, how great was it to see all the other coaches come out to be proud for not just the baseball and softball, but UT Martin, not just UT Martin athletics, really, UT Martin as a whole.
Right. Well, as I told you on one-on-one, that's something we stress a lot, is that we have to support one another, each other's teams. And I don't know that I said this on one-on-one, but I also make it a strong area of emphasis that our student athletes positively interact with non-student athletes, because and I did say this on one-on-one. A lot of people are busy these days, and if you want them to watch you play, they've got to have a relationship. They're not going to come. There are not that many people that are just so hardcore baseball fans or softball fans that they're going to come watch just because it's a game going on. They got to know somebody, and it's always fun for me to come down here and see faculty members who are coming to watch because somebody in their class, asked them to come watch them, or non-student athletes coming to watch. But it meant a lot. The soccer team, as I told you the other day, that's one of the next facilities that we need to get after is something for our soccer team, because they're kind of stuck out there without easy access to their needs.
Well, and also there have been additions made to the soccer field. I love the stuff around the new fencing and everything,
Right.
and I really think
Right.
it distinguishes it. Back in 2006, when you were in the, as you called it, the idea stage, did you envision all of this? I mean, because this is amazing.
No, I really didn't. I kind of had in my mind, and I helped the architects kind of think about how we get two programs in one building. But I have to be honest, I wasn't expecting something this nice, and it was a great effort, and we decided that we would. Our pledge to the students at that time was about a third of the money going to facility improvements and about 2/3 going to staffing improvements, particularly for the women's sports, because there were some real gender equity issues that we needed to address. But we decided to, up just a little bit the house payment, so to speak, on this building and go ahead and do it upright instead of just a metal building with, no windows or, no frills. And it's to me, it's not over the top, but it's very, very tasteful.
Well, and I spoke with Jordan Garrett, senior for the softball squad, and she said, she's a senior here.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I've never seen anything like this in all of the OVC.
Right.
Do you really think that is the turning point that both softball and baseball need?
Yeah, well, softball's, had, they've done as much as you can do without it, with championship of the tournament and the league so far. But I think it'll help us get even better there, and I think it'll help us get to the next level in baseball. Not only that, but the lights, and I've been all over the league. I know the facilities that everybody else in the conference has, and some may have a better playing surface, or some may have a better grandstand. But in terms of locker room facilities and office space and laundry facilities and everything this building has, there's not anything better in the league. And it's I didn't say this earlier, but it's special for me. I played baseball in college. I coached my daughters in softball for 11 years as they were growing up. So this is something, before I quit, I wanted to get done.
Something close to home.
Right.
Well, go ahead, Benny.
Let's talk about, the fans. How is this going to bring the fans out to the games?
Well, one of the things that we added that cost a little money, but was the entry feature, Skyhawk Park, and trying to create, people. When you go to Major League Park these days, they're building something that has some atmosphere to it that causes people to want to come out. And I think that a full service concession stand now where people can come and get hot dog, popcorn on a consistent basis. We've been hit or miss at that over the years. Restrooms, we've used porta potties for restrooms, so people can come here. They can be comfortable. They can have a good meal if they want to, and baseball and softball's, to me, still America's game, and it's all about the fellowship you're having in the stands, because there's a lot of time between innings, between pitches that you can talk about. You cover it.
The camaraderie, the
right.
atmosphere, all of that.
Right. And when the weather gets a little bit nicer, we're going to be playing a few more night games. I think it'll be a fun place to be. Next year in the conference, we go to Friday, Saturday, Sunday baseball series, so we'll be able to have a number of Friday night games in the spring.
Well, and I think that's one thing that Coach Cates talked to me about when I interviewed him a couple of years ago when the lights first came in. He said, if we start at 4 o'clock, people can listen on the Hawk, but then get off work and then come to the park. Just overall a great experience, a great day. Mr. Dane, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Josh, Benita, thank y'all. We appreciate all you do. You're our lifeline to the outside world when it's game day, and a lot of people count on that now. So we appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Director of Athletics Phil Dane joins us here in the baseball softball complex. We will be back shortly with some of the coaches
That's
here
going to be fun.
on the Hawk.
Programming on WUTM is made possible in part by the Shoe Shack located in downtown Martin, right next door to La Cabana. The Shoe Shack carries a huge selection of name brand shoes, such as Clark's, Sperry's Topsiders, Sanooks, Yellow Box, Rainbow Flip-Flops, and many different types of moccasins. The Shoe Shack also offers a wide variety of rain and western boots and men's and women's formal wear shoes for those special occasions. With items ranging from boots and shoes to purses and croquis, the Shoe Shack offers a wide variety of discount prices and can be reached at 587-6541.
And welcome back to Skyhawk Park. I'm Josh Lemons, alongside me, Benita Evans.
Josh, it's just really been a good day today. I mean, everybody has turned out today, and it's amazing to see how the university community, as well as we saw Mayor Randy Brundage here just a few minutes ago. And now
we are joined by the head baseball coach, Coach Bubba Cates. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. Congratulations on what is a great day.
Yeah, it has been a great day. Sure has.
It's, I hate to ask the same questions to multiple people, but it's just when this idea was conceived, you were head coach of the baseball
That's
team.
right.
And did you have any idea that you would get such a wonderful facility?
Well, you dreamed that it'd be like that,
Yeah.
and it certainly is. It's everything that we could want it to be, and certainly special for the guys that are here. It sure is.
Well, Coach, you and I talked probably 2, maybe 3 years ago about the beginning of the season, and something stuck out with me that I always remembered, that you said there's 14 Division I schools in the state of Tennessee.
That's right.
And when a player's good and when they're hot, you got to compete against 13 other schools.
That's
Most
right.
are in metro areas. How does this facility put UT Martin upper on the list when it comes to why a prospective student athlete should come here?
Well, a couple things about that, I guess. You would like for them to come and choose us because they want to be here,
Right.
and they want Martin to be a part of their experience. And I think a lot of people that we deal with are not really sure what they're looking for, but they'll see the niceties of what's going on here, and I think that's encouraging to them. And I think when they see our building here and they look at the new rec center and things like that, that they get a feeling that the people on campus are really excited about and committed to making things nicer for the people that are here. It's not for the future, it's for now.
Right.
And I think that's a neat concept, and I do think it is something that that overall feeling among those people is big that way, and I think that helps draw people here. I think it does.
How proud are you as a coach to see your players that are here now get to enjoy this facility?
Well, I'm really excited about them being able to enjoy it, just like you said, because we see, I don't know that we see very many that are like this and right next to the field, but there are some things that we see at other places that would mirror this a little bit. And I was sharing with some other people. We played at South Alabama last weekend, and that's what a really nice place that is. And we took batting practice second that day when we were out there, and they take it first, and then we don't see them. They're gone somewhere. Mm-hmm. And what they've done is they've gone in the clubhouse, and they've I don't know, they have a team meeting or whatever they're doing in there. They've got to structure themselves. And then about 10 minutes before our batting practice time is over, they start showing up again. Well, our guys see that when they're at the park, and they think that's the way it ought to be.
Right.
And